It meant nothing. She begged to work it out and promised to block him on everything. She'd keep her phone unlocked, etc. At one point, she even tried to guilt trip me. I asked her to show me her phone. She refused. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, I Found Out That There's No Business Trip. And guys, this story, and by the way, shout out to Jack for sending me the story. This story is about a guy who discovers that his girlfriend of 5 years, who he thought he had a really good thing going with, was in fact pretending to be on a business trip only to be at some hotel not too far away, I believe, hooking up with one of her coworkers. This whole elaborate plan to do so. And you're going to see that this guy was feeding his wife the same story, and ultimately these guys end up working together to uncover this plot and stick it to them in the end, and they most certainly do. This will be a story where karma gets both these a-holes and bites them in the butt down the road. So I'm going to jump right into it. Starts off saying, I, a 30-year-old male, wanted to leave a gift at her desk, my 27-year-old female girlfriend, for a birthday present when she was away on her business trip. When I got there, I found there was no business trip. She had been calling out sick, as did the coworker she told me I had nothing to worry about. How interesting. She has been sending me photos of her hotel room and all the sightseeing that she was doing. I'm an acquaintance of his wife, so after I contacted her on Facebook, I got her number and talked on the phone. Same story. He was on a business trip and they've been exchanging photos of similar sites. That's why I explained to her what I found out. She was silent for a while, then told me he had cheated on her many times apparently, and she's actually been working on serving him with divorce papers while under the guise of reconciliation. She apologized profusely, but of course none of this is her fault. Holy crap. So they're both taking pictures from this fake hotel room to send both to this dude writing the story and this guy's wife, and sightseeing things, the same freaking story to cover their tracks. I mean, it's really screwed up, but it is pretty genius what they're doing here. But karma will get them. She called their workplace to find out on her own. They told her the same thing, that he had called out sick. So here we are. My girlfriend is still texting me like normal, pretending she's sitting at a boring meeting. I'm extremely distraught and my anxiety is at an all-time high. But surprisingly, I'm not crying this time. This isn't the first time I was cheated on. I realized how much of a fool I'd been. I saw the red flags, but once again I ignored them, thinking I just had trust issues that I needed to work on. You have to always be on the lookout for the red flags and to respond to them accordingly. How do you know red flag? When your gut tells you something's off and doesn't make sense. I packed all her stuff and will wait for her to come back tonight. Now, a little update. He says the affair partner's wife confirmed that the papers will be served Monday, and that she's not worried about any blowback from me confronting my ex. So I went ahead and confronted her. I will paste what I said. And this is his little dialogue. He had told her, I know you were not on a business trip. I packed your stuff and left them outside for you. You'll have to find your own ride home from the airport. I'm beyond heartbroken and angry that everything we built together meant nothing to you. I hope he was worth it. I'm totally messed up in the head right now, so I don't know when the next update will come, but I'll make sure to do so. I appreciate all the suggestions, comments, and words of support. She's blowing up my phone, so I blocked her number. Her sister tried to reach me, so I informed her of the situation. She's shocked, embarrassed, and upset. She'll drive my ex from the airport and help her pack up her stuff. Well, it's nice that this guy, his cheater girlfriend's sister's on his side. Usually those gals stick together. I have her spare key here, so there's no need to worry about my safety. Someone suggested taking a vacation from it all. I might actually do that, but first I need to get some time to myself right again. I had an anxiety attack, very nearly called my ex too, out of habit. That realization made me even more sad. This really sucks. This does really suck. I feel really bad for this guy. But don't worry. They'll be alright. Another update, he says, so apparently the affair partner's wife, let's just call her Jenny, her inquiry, along with mine, set off a red flag at their company's HR department, and they decided to investigate. He says, makes sense. You would think a married woman would know that her husband was sick at home. So the cat is out of the bag. She told them everything. And my ex's emergency contact, so they tracked my number and contacted me about half an hour ago, asking how she was doing. She called it sick and has responded in a few days. I told him everything is well, that she wasn't sick. She had told me she was on a business trip but lied. She went on a trip with that asshole and is cheating on me with him. Everything just spilled out. I guess I still have so much bottled up I need to let out. So that's still developing as of this moment. Meanwhile, since I'm up, I might as well update you all. So the HR department is investigating, and they got the full story that them calling out sick was total bullshit in their way having relations. I wonder how that's going to go. So shortly after I texted my ex yesterday, she started blowing up my phone. Jenny texted me that the affair partner had been texting her, being much more communicative than normal, and eventually asked if anything was up and what she was doing. She played along. This pretty much confirms that him and my ex were together. My ex and her sister came and picked up her stuff after they landed last night. They didn't knock. I didn't open the door. After they were done, they sat in the car for a while. I could see her sister's hand gestures moving frantically as they talked. Maybe she was lecturing her or what, I don't know. She was clearly upset. The ex was buried in her own hands. After a while, she got out and knocked on my door. A lot of Redditors suggested completely ghosting her, but I decided I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to know what she had to say for herself, and I wanted to see her cry. Yeah, but is this guy strong enough to handle the waterworks and all that? Some guys aren't, so it's a gamble. He says, boy, what a shit show. It was painful. Lying, gaslighting, deflecting. It meant nothing. She begged to work it out and promised to block him on everything. She'd keep her phone unlocked, etc. At one point, she even tried to guilt trip me. I asked her to show me her phone. She refused. Imagine that. Won't let you see the phone. And of course, the guilt trips and twisting things around and the gaslighting, big surprise there. It's always the same story when I do these things, guys. The same reaction, the same comments. It's amazing. He says, I was done. I told her to get out of my face and never contact me again. She burst further into tears and pleaded until she eventually agreed to give me her phone. I found everything on Facebook Messenger. Sexts, nudes, videos, conversations about me, how clueless I was, how she felt guilty but was too horny to care. I took screenshots and sent them to myself, which I later forwarded to Jenny. Gave her back her phone and told her it was over. Not gonna lie, it still hurt watching her cry in such despair. But I had to rebuild myself that she's not sorry she cheated, she's only sorry she got caught. Exactly. And notice she didn't bother to clean out her phone. She had all that proof on her phone. She knew I'd been cheated on before and how traumatic that was for me. It didn't matter. She was willing to risk throwing away 5 beautiful years together, and for what? Exactly. I closed the door and talked to my mom and dad on the phone for a while, and then pretty much cried myself to sleep. I told Jenny that I was here for her if she needed any support or help, and if she needed a place to stay, she's more than welcome to stay with me and my brother. I'm already dreading today. I don't know what to do with myself at the moment. I can't even get back to sleep. And now for the final update of this guy's story. He says, Jenny, the affair partner's wife, informed me that the affair partner and my ex both got fired from their job. Awesome. That's what happens when you lie about being sick to HR, amongst many other things. And probably there may have been rules about having affairs in the office. Who knows? Not only that, but on the same day, he was served the divorce papers. All in one day. That would have been fun to watch. They had a huge argument, and he started slamming and hitting stuff. He never touched her, but still, she doesn't feel safe to be around him. Her parents live in Korea, so she'll be moving in with me until she can find her own place. My brother's deployed right now, so his room is vacant. Well, how about that? Jenny's going to come live with him. Wouldn't it be a great end of the story if this guy ended up hooking up with the now ex-wife of the guy that was nailing his wife? That would be poetic. As for my ex, I hear from her sister she's moved back in with her parents and has been crying nonstop. Oh, poor baby. She hasn't left the house since and isn't talking to anyone. Her dad called me a few days ago to apologize. All the years I've known him, he was always quiet, cold, and distant. But over the phone, he was very warm and offered me some much-needed words of comfort and advice. I can't tell you how many stories I've done where guys say something like this, where the girl does them wrong in one form or another, and it's the father of her that really feels embarrassed by his daughter's behavior and apologizes and all that. But meanwhile, it's usually the mom that either doesn't say anything or actually makes the guy to be the bad guy. Isn't that amazing? As for me, I'm not good at all, but I know these things take time to work through. I've been here before, but it hurts just the same. 5 years down the drain. She was my rock, the one person in this world I could turn to and open to, and now I can't just do that. It says here, was it worth it? Is that all those 5 years? Is that what all those 5 years meant to you? She was such an upstanding person, independent, hardworking, and honest. Upstanding my ass. She always had her shit together, and you could tell she was going to be going places in life. Yeah, with the affair partner. Her energy just made you want to stay on top of your shit, but now it's like I don't even know who she is anymore. Everyone knows what she did. I had a moment of poor judgment open up to someone who had a big mouth. Her close friends are upset and are accusing me of doing that on purpose to get back at her. Of course they are, because they're probably all the same way. And who cares what her so-called friends, just block them, delete them, tell them to F off. Says, I really don't care to argue with people who knew about her affair the entire time. One of them even encouraged it. Of course. Probably they saw that she had a good thing going, so they probably encouraged it to sabotage it. That's why I tell guys all the time on my other channel to watch out who your girlfriend, fiance, or wives hang out with. They're going to have a great influence on her. I never liked them. I always thought my ex was so far above them. She always seemed out of place. But now I see exactly where she got it from. It's saddening and disappointing to see her falls down so far. It is not your problem, man, and you should not feel bad for her at all. Let her wallow in the misery. She cheated on you. She ruined it. You're a good guy. And you can nail this girl who's staying with you, the ex-wife of the guy who's banging your wife. If she's hot, of course. I will start boxing next week with my friend, and he will also coach me on nutrition and overall how to eat healthier. I've been itching to do some grilling, so right now I'm thinking about pulling out my brother's Weber and learn. I'm trying to keep myself busy. I work from home, so everything still reminds me of her. Someone suggests rearranging the house. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, not a bad idea. Craigslist for some of the stuff you bought together. Get some new stuff. Just don't spend too much money. That'll make you feel a lot better. That's all the updates I have for you guys. I don't think there will be much more. If anything major pops up, I'll make an update. Thank you all so much for the support, words of kindness, and advice. And he says, there's a little thing here. In addition, he says, and I've been given the opportunity to travel to New Orleans next month, super cheap. Jenny and I are thinking about going to get away from all this shit. We've never been, and we've both been foodies, so this might be just what we need. There you go. Go on vacation. New Orleans is an awesome city. I love that city. I've been there like 8 times in my life. Mardi Gras, music jazz fest, everything. It's awesome. That'd be a great way to go to blow some steam and have some fun with Jenny. Again, if she's hot. All right, guys, that'll be a good one to cover. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you come across a really entertaining story like me to cover in the future, email to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.